Welcome to the Cluttered Corner. I am Chelsea. Today is day 19 of Inktober, which is October, but with ink. So you draw a picture every day based on a prompt. I just found out today's word, which is ridge. So I think I'm gonna draw a dinosaur with a ridge. This is a side view. I don't usually draw side views, so maybe that was a bad choice. I don't draw those. I don't know how to do it, but we're drawing a ridge of whatever these are. I don't know what these are called. Spines, maybe. Spines? And this dinosaur, I think if I draw the other eye over there, we'll get a good sense of like, maybe that was the wrong choice. But whatever. This looks like a puppet, I'll be honest. So let's say it is a puppet. Let's put like a thing there. Somebody is holding this puppet. And this is their arm. And this person over here is also a dinosaur. You say, why would a dinosaur have a dinosaur puppet? Why would a human have a human puppet? We just would, okay? This is turning into a bit of a mess. But it's okay. I'm gonna sort it out. Okay. Dinosaur. I think it's a dinosaur. I don't know what kind of dinosaur this is. But this is their other arm. This is their stomach. There's a bunch of lines that... this is a bit of a mess, like I said. I'm trying to give them an elbow. This doesn't really make any sense. Okay, wait. If it was there and it would come up here. Yeah, I think it was better before. This is a mess, as I said multiple times. This dinosaur also has a ridge. And here they have, let's say, they're holding like a different kind of puppet with the strings. A marionette, that's what those are called. I used to have one that I got, I don't remember what it was. It was like a carnival or a fair or something. It was a cat. But it looked kind of like one of those English sheepdogs, but it was a cat. And it was cute and it was fun, but those strings would get so tangled, like so easily, and then you have to completely untangle it. No, I'm just making this be like, it's not a creature, it's just kind of some jangly stuff to jangle around with the marionette. And then this, go here. This is a bit of a weird picture. Not that any of them aren't, but, you know. So I'm going to put like a booth. This dinosaur is in a booth at some sort of event where people would come and see it, you know. So let's put some like tents over here. There's like, you know, we're at a carnival or something. You know, there could be like a Ferris wheel back here. How do you feel about Ferris wheels? Do you like them? I think I like them. It's been a long time since I've been on one. But I like them, I think. I haven't been on any like... Well, maybe I have. I don't know. I feel like I haven't been on any significant ones, but who knows? Now, this wheel's not touching the ground. So it's got something. I don't know. Maybe this is part of something else. It's like a building in the distance. Some sort of thing here. Do you play Power Wash Simulator? Because I sure do. And there's there's like I guess there's several levels where there's like a carnival sort of place. And there's something that's like I don't know. Well, I mean, it's called a helter skelter, which I didn't know was a thing. I mean, I've only heard that in that Beatles song, but like I didn't know it was like a real thing. And I guess I still don't know for sure, but it seems to be like a tower you go in, and then there's a slide that goes around the outside of it. We don't have those here. I've, never heard of those. So, I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe other people totally know what those are, but I've never even seen one. It's not like, oh, it was called something else. Like, I've never seen that. So, I feel like I learned something from playing that game. Also, I'll say it. I hate that gnome. I hate seeing him. I don't know if you're supposed to love him or hate him. I just hate him. So, sorry to anyone who loves him. But, I just can't. I can't with that gnome. When you find him on, like, the toilet, oh, God. So angry. Let's put some little dinosaurs watching this show. They're very interested. This is a free show that you get in if you go to the carnival. You don't have to pay tickets to watch this show. The show's just happening. But, you gotta sit on the grass. Dinosaurs probably don't mind. These little I keep saying dragon. Dinosaurs. They're dinosaurs. They're not dragons. There's no wings on these guys. They're just, I almost said dragons again. They're not. They are just dinosaurs. Now I'm going to get out my paint. All right, we're going to start with sparkles. Not those ones. I don't know why I can't remember. Well, I guess I got tins that look very similar. So, spray these down, and I'm going to put some scales on these guys. Now, do you think the puppet has shiny scales? Or do you think it's just, it might be a matte, not shiny. I'll have several greens here. Not that all dinosaurs are green. Probably only some. But I'm gonna put that on here. It's pretty nice. And I got these are toe beans watercolors from Etsy. They are shaped like toe beans, like, cat feet. You can see one here. These were all like samples. The sample ones are shaped like toes. And I just, put them in here and melted them all down. But some of them didn't melt as much. And by melt, I just mean I put water on them. I didn't melt them, But I just put water on them and stuck them in here. And I feel like those sample ones are plenty to get started with. And I really like that they have that. Because, actually, a lot of watercolor samples, like that you would get like from someone, on Etsy or something, like a lot of those are pretty good sizes. And sometimes that's all you need. It might, if it's not a color that you use constantly, you might not really need that much of it. And you can certainly just see like, well, which ones do I use more of, And then you'll know which ones you want to spend more on, if any. Okay, now put this here. It's not quite, I guess, as dark as I would like it. And I maybe should have like mixed this with something else, but I think I can also just keep putting some on here. I've been thinking about trying to make my own watercolors, which I've mentioned on here. And I don't remember if I mentioned, I know I mentioned that I got a piece of glass I think I can use as a mulling slab, but I also managed to get a slab of marble. It's not exactly a slab. I mean, it is a slab, but it's like meant to be like a bathroom tray. So it does have like edges, but they're also like kind of smooth. So there's nothing's going to get stuck in the edges, And I like that it has that rim on it, because then maybe stuff won't like go over the edge. I haven't tested them out, but I'm going to test them out, both of them, and see which one I like best. And if I like the marble one best, then I guess the piece of glass will just become the shelf that it was supposed to be. And just put things on it. I'm using a different color now because I thought it's time to switch things up. Put like a different color here so that we can kind of see that the arm is there, and then it's like a different color than this. But I'm also going to try and kind of blend this up with here so that, you know, there's some coherence to it. Put a little bit over here. Like I said several times, this is all over the place and kind of a mess, but that's okay. Because it's still a fun picture and I'm still enjoying painting it. And, you know, that's all that matters. Put more on here. Just always want to put more of this on here. Yeah. Trying to think, what have I been doing? Well, I've been looking at Happy Planner videos online, as I said I was going to do. I am true to my word. I know myself pretty well. I think I want to try it. But, you know, I don't want to just talk about planners every day or about goals or, you know, even though that is kind of like a lot of what I think about. I don't want to, you know, this channel isn't that. And I don't want to bore people by just saying the same things every day about it. Maybe it's not boring to you though, because I kind of love watching videos where people just talk about the same things, you know? I mean, not exactly the same, but, I don't know, it's just comforting kind of to be like, yep, that's this person. That's what they like, that's what they do. And I just really love that. So I try and remember that and not be too hard on myself about it because you never know. And it's hard when you don't have any feedback about stuff, you know, like, I mean, I guess I have a little bit, but I don't have like any, like, you know, nobody's said like, here's what I like, here's what I don't like. And even if they did, maybe I don't care because I'm doing this, you know, I'm doing this how I want it. But still, you know, and things that annoy one person might not annoy another person. And I find that people who are annoyed are likely to be more vocal than people who are not. And I am also guilty of not that I voice my opinion when I'm annoyed, but I am guilty of being someone who is, I just mean, you know, publicly. I'm not out there spewing like hate at people, being like, you didn't do what I wanted. Like, I don't care. But I don't always say when I love something, you know? Like, but it's weird, I think, to say that sometimes, you know, to just be like, hey, I just love hearing you talk. Or, you know, I always worry it's going to come off as creepy. Especially if it's like, I don't really know this person, you know? I mean, to just be like, hey, random person, I'm obsessed with you and I love hearing you talk and I could just listen to you talk about anything forever. Like, you know, that's a bit out there. I don't know. Not that I don't ever tell people, you know, like in comments and stuff, like, I'm not just talking about videos, I'm talking about all sorts of things, you know, reviews or like, I don't know, just talking directly to people sometimes, like online. You know, I do like to put that out there, but also like, it's kind of hard to know, you know, how much is too much, because then you feel like you know them, but they don't know you. So then it's weird. And definitely gotten some weird reviews from well-meaning people, I think. And that's fine. You know, people talking about how much they love stuff. But, you know, I don't know. You just never know how it's going to come off. And also, it's kind of vulnerable to tell somebody like, hey, I love everything you do. Or, you know, you're just great. Like, because then, not that they're going to be like, ew, you think I'm great? Like, you love my stuff? Ugh. Like, no, this isn't like junior high or something. But at the same time, it always feels like, I don't know, like you're putting yourself out there. Whereas if people are mean, it's different. They're not really putting themselves out there. Again, like junior high, be like, it's really easy to just like put down everything, and it's difficult to actually say like nice things and admit good things. And I'm not saying that the people who are annoyed aren't like, I don't know, saying what they actually mean. I just mean that like that's an easier opinion to express sometimes than positive opinions. And I have talked about this. I talked about this on my blog a while back, where I just, as someone who consumes media, I always feel like whoever's making it, they can just feel that I love it, like they must know. They must know how much I love this. And probably everybody loves it, and everybody's telling them. And, I don't have to. But as a creator, I definitely don't magically just feel if people are enjoying my work. I don't know why. I think that's like going out into the ether, like as a consumer. Because as someone who makes things, like I don't know unless people tell me. And I mean, you can kind of see, you can see if there's sales and stuff, but that's not always like, that doesn't always tell you like how someone really feels about it. That's just, you can see like, oh, is it selling? But that's a different thing than like knowing exactly how much it means to somebody. So, so I try and make a point of telling people when their stuff means something to me. But again, that can be a little bit difficult when you're just talking to a stranger on the internet and you don't want to sound insane. So, let me think of something I was going to talk about, and I can't think of it. All right, I think it's time to switch over to non-sparklies. I'm going to put these sparklies here. I'm going to leave them out, though, because I might need them. I might need those sparklies. And I was going to use my other set, but I think I'm just going to stick with these guys. This is a good set of, there's a good variety in this set of colors that I like. And I don't know, it's kind of my tried and true palette that I use the most. Oh, wait, should the stomach be sparkly? Isn't too much? Can we have too much sparkle? We don't know. If you can, I don't know if I found it yet. But as I have said, my favorite color is glitter, so I might not be the best person to judge that. But anyway, I do think I might get a happy planner next year. I'm looking at that Sleeping Beauty one. I found out there was a Bridgerton one this year, and I feel like I've really missed out. And I mean, it was, specifically 2024. It's not undated. And I was like, well, what if I got it and, just kept the dashboards and stuff? But no, it's sold out. It's on like a crazy sale because, it's the end of the year. It's sold out. And, yeah. So try not to think about that. I'm letting that go. It's not going to happen. So, but boy, do I love Bridgerton. Let me tell you. I love it. I know people were like, I don't know, some people I saw before I watched the most recent season, which was, I can't remember what number. I think we're on season 3. It was Penelope's season. And I saw people complaining about it and stuff like before I watched it, and I was like, is it actually bad, or are they just mad that like things haven't worked out for their characters yet? And I think it was that one, but I don't know. I loved it. I didn't really have any issues with it. I loved it. I would say I'm pretty easy to please with stuff like that, but I don't know if that's true. It's like, I don't know, certain things. And I think I'm very open to like it being like, I just love this, you know? But I don't know. I don't know if I could like pinpoint what it is that makes things like, no, I love this. It can do no wrong versus like, they don't know what they're doing, you know? You know, because it's not to say like, oh, I just love everything I watch. Like, no. And I mean, if I don't love it, I guess I would just stop watching it. That's an option. But, you know, there's definitely things that I watch that I'm like, these people, they don't know what they're doing. But speaking of people who do know what they're doing, we have been rewatching DC's Legends of Tomorrow, which I don't know if anybody actually refers to that. It's just Legends. But we watched through this show several times. It's like our favorite show. And it doesn't disappoint. And every season just gets better. First season, you know, it's not... I mean, the first season is definitely the worst season, but it's not a bad season. It's still pretty good. But as I watch, every time I rewatch it, I watch that first season and I'm like, why did I think this wasn't as good? Like, this is great. And then you get to season 2 and you're like, oh, no, this is the show. This is it. No, you get to season 3, this is the show. Oh, no, you know, season 4. Like, I want to be like, season 4 is my favorite. But you know what? I would have said that after finishing season 3. I'm not going to say. I'm not going to say how it even meant. I'm not going to talk about it. Just go watch it. Now, we didn't watch the show for a long time. Well, a few seasons. I guess it wasn't a long time, but it felt like we knew about it for a long time. We thought it looked so dumb. We were so mean about this show. We thought, like, because it has characters that I didn't really like or care about on other shows. If you watch, like, watched, I guess, they're not there now, but, like, the CW, like, the Arrowverse shows, like, okay, so, like, Sarah Lance, who is White Canary, she was on Arrow, didn't love her on that, didn't really care. She's on this, on Legends, and Ray Palmer from that show, I liked him on that, but, you know, like, I feel like the only character on Arrow I really love is Felicity, and the rest of, I don't know, it's just, I don't know, the whole vibe is, like, not my vibe, I guess. But, you know, Ray was getting in, I was like, okay, and then, Captain Cold and Heatwave from, Flash, I mean, you know, I don't really care about Heatwave. Now I do, I mean, it's just Rory from Legends, like, don't call him Heatwave, but, you know, those guys were on it, and I was like, well, I really do like Captain Cold, though. So, Owen Stein, I mean, there's, you know, there's people from other shows, but some of them I was like, I don't care. I don't like this person. But then we would see, like, the crossover episodes, and at first we're like, man, this looks so dumb. And then it just continued to look dumb. But then there was something, and I can't remember what it was, but it made us be like, wait, maybe it's not dumb. I think one of the crossovers made us realize, like, maybe it's not dumb. And anyway, we gave it a shot, and it actually turned out to be our favorite show. And the characters that didn't care about or actively disliked on other shows, completely different. Sarah Lance, one of my favorite characters ever. She's the best. Like, and Rory, like, I didn't think I would care about him, but I do. And, you know, like, I care about them so much. I really love the show. If you haven't given it a chance, I highly recommend it. It is so good. And every season is just better than the last. I wish it had gone on forever. It's a real shame that it got canceled. But, I mean, all the shows did. I don't know. CW... I mean, as far as I understand, they've sold it to some other weird company, and I don't really understand it. And CW is no more, basically. I mean, it technically exists, but it's not what it was. And the Arrowverse is over, and it's an end of an era. But if you're not opposed to superhero shows or CW shows or whatever, that's a really good one. And it's fun to rewatch. and and it's funny because every time like there was a new character, like back when we were first watching, I'd be like, I don't like them. And then like, well, a couple episodes in, you're like, they're my favorite. That's my favorite character. And then when you watch through it again, you're just like, oh my God, so-and-so is finally on it, you know? But then I'm like, when I first watched this, I hated them. Or I was like so upset that they added this character or that they got rid of one, you know, because people come and go. And I won't spoil like who, you know, but just know that every time a character leaves, a new character comes, and you won't really even feel the loss of the other characters because, I don't know, you think you will. You think you'll be upset forever, and then they distract you with a shiny new character, and they do such a good job of it that, you know, you just are happy. Oh, this is not a good, oh, don't go in that tent. That scary tent. I'm gonna see what I can do about that. Probably still don't go in there, but let's see if we can fix it. Make it less horrifying. Kinda. Just gonna paint some purple over that. I mean, you know, this picture is kind of a weird picture today. I want to paint the Ferris wheel red. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I'm going to do it. So yeah, we've been watching Legends, and I love it, and I don't know, what else have I been watching? I started watching The Closer, God, over the summer, I think. I've been watching it slowly, like I watch that one on my own, and usually like if I'm, well, it depends on, like sometimes I'll be crafting or doing things. When I first started watching that show, I was like, I hadn't realized what year it was from, but I started watching the first episode and I was like, this is like so 2005. And I looked it up and it was 2005. And I was like, oh, okay. And at first I thought, well, I thought it was so 2005. I thought it was like kind of not progressive at all and stuff, but I quickly took that back. I don't think that's true. And I'm not going to get into it because I don't want to like spoil it or talk about a show that you might not have seen, but you know, it's a good show. And I've been enjoying that one. I think that's all I've been watching. Well, I've been watching a lot of YouTube. A lot of planner videos. I'm not ready to get one for next year, but I am obsessively watching stuff about it. And as I've said, I don't know. I don't know what I want to do. I think I want to get that Sleeping Beauty Happy Planner. I think that's going to be probably the best option for me. But we'll see. And as far as goals go, I have no idea. I think it's very hard for me to figure out goals. You know, like when theoretically you would be like, okay, you know, what could I have? What could I do? What could be my life? What do I want? I have a real hard time knowing the answers to that. Or even knowing what the options are, I guess. I mean, I guess the option is anything, but that's tough. And I kind of think in my brain that I shy away from the things that I really want because I feel, even when I'm telling myself everything is on the table, just, you know, the whole point of this exercise is to just really figure out, like, if you could have literally anything, any life, any whatever, what would you have? I have a real hard time, like, I'm like, yeah, in my brain, I'm like, except, you know, but not that thing or not whatever. But I can't always tell what that thing is, so I don't know. Yeah. But anyway, not going to talk about planners. I mean, I'm a little bit, but I'm not going to make that the whole thing. I was looking at, now that I understand the YouTube stats a little bit better, or that they exist even, I was looking at some random stats for a book trailer I posted like 15 years ago for the first Renegade X book. It's called The Rise of Renegade X. And that's on my other channel. Just, it's under my name, Chelsea Campbell. It's not a real channel. Like, you know. But the, I was just looking at the stats because I was curious about it. And it's just a short book trailer. I don't remember how long it is. Probably like a minute or two. I hope it's not longer than that. But, and like, it's been watched like 12 hours worth. And that just, that seems crazy. And I mean, that's over 15 years. Like, you know, and that's not just like people sitting down and watching it for 12 hours, obviously, but I don't know. Those little minutes build up, I guess. And it just seems weird that, like, because I drew pictures for it. Didn't color them. They're just, like, drawn, and I narrated it, even though the main character's a boy, and I'm not, and I don't sound like one. I just went ahead and did it. And I made this trailer, and I put some, like, dramatic music to it, and, you know, it was fun. It was fun. And to think that people watched that 12 hours worth is crazy. Like, I don't know. I can't even wrap my mind around it. Because, I don't know. I mean, in a way, they're just numbers. They don't mean anything. But in another way, like, they do mean something. And, you know, and I mean, that's probably not, like, even that much for a video in the grand scheme of things, like over 15 years. But for a short little video like that, that's just like, you know, this isn't like, I don't know, it's a very like specialized thing of like, well, this is just for this book. This is not something that I'm trying to like, I don't know, get out there. I mean, I guess it is technically, but just, you know, I'm not doing anything. And it's also just like on my website, I think, like embedded in there. I don't know that people have seen it that many times. I've seen me say it and looked at my stupid drawings. Like, you know, it's just really hard to fathom. So that's really interesting. I don't know if these would be this color. Oh, wait, that should have been spine. Whatever. But I'm just kind of trying to finish this up. It's taking a long time. There's a lot of detail in this picture. And I just kind of want it to be done. I'm putting that there. So last year during spooky season, I watched Fall of the House of Usher. I don't usually watch scary things. Now, I did it while I was crafting, so that helped. I wasn't, like, fully paying attention, which also was good, because there was an animal death in that one. If you can't handle an animal death, don't watch it, or be crafting at the same time, so that you don't have to really think about it. But, yeah, I won't spoil it, but it was also, like, I don't know, it would have been really tough for me if I had not been doing something else and kind of ignoring it at the time. But it was a good show, and I really liked it. I don't know if they've come out with another series this year. Not for that one exactly, but can't think of the name of the guy who makes that one. But he does a lot of like, I guess like, was it a limited series? Whatever. You know, like a one season thing of like a horror thing every year for Netflix. I don't know if he's doing one this year. His name is like, it's right there. Can't think of it. It's right in my brain, but don't know. Oh, that's part of that. Okay. I don't know how to paint stuff back here, because I don't know what goes there. I'm going to try and change up this color. I don't know if I want it to be so red, but it's kind of what I've chosen. Now, the perspective on this picture is kind of all over the place. It's not my best work, for sure, but that's okay. And this, I don't know. There would be like some stuff, I think. Just like some random stuff in the background. I guess just more brown. I don't know. There'd probably be like, you know, just more tents and rides and stuff and things. And this is, I shouldn't have put that there, because now it wasn't meant to be. It was meant to be like this was the edge that you couldn't see past to see the Ferris wheel. But then I put that there, and then it's not a wheel. So that's kind of not okay for a Ferris wheel. I don't think it can function if it's smushed on one side. You shouldn't get on that. That's my phone. I forgot to silence it today. It's okay. All right. That's good enough. There we go. I'm not even going to put any extra shadows on it. I'm just going to be done. But this is Ridge. So you could really start from anything, and get somewhere. Phone? Okay. There we go. Ridge. That's day 19. And yeah. So if you want to see more of these, subscribe. If you enjoyed this, hit like. And I will see you next time on the Cluttered Corner.